Hello, today I am going to show you the start to finish process of using MySQL database. So basically I already have this MySQL local instance right here, server. And basically I just want to show you the whole process of going through this. Okay, so let's get started. So basically the first step is to select from your data set, okay? And then once you've selected from your data set, you need to create a data set. So we're going to show you that right now. So in order to create a new data set, what you're going to have to do is create a new query tab. Now once you've done this, you need to write the following code: create table, and then you need to write the name of your table. Now once you've done this, you need to execute this. Since I already have a table existing on my server, I will need to make sure that I fix this error. So basically what I need to do is drop the table. Okay, so in order to drop the table, what I'm going to have to do is select the table name here, and then I need to execute this. So I need to drop this table here. And it looks like we don't have any rows affected, so our table must have been deleted, or there's an issue with the importation. So if we look right here, yeah, we have this. So looks like we just had an issue with the importation. Alright, so then now you're going to create a new table. Okay, so there are a couple of methods to create a new table on MySQL. One method is to create a table from scratch by just typing in the code. However, this takes a long time. And we're still getting issues right here. So creating the code takes a long time, and normally you will run into lots of errors. So instead we will open a file from the computer. So in order to import your data, you're going to have to create a new table. Okay, so there's actually three methods. Excuse me, I forgot about this method when I was talking about the other methods. This method is where you will select the different data right here. However, it's kind of limited as you can only select the parameters, and it's mainly just for when you're working with connecting the data in your diagrams, which the diagrams are not a necessary part of MySQL and usually are only helpful for very complex processes. So instead we're going to work with different method, and essentially what we're going to have to do is access our file, and this will be our CSV file. So for our CSV file, we're going to have to import it, and once we get our CSV file. Okay, hang on. So you probably can't see this right now because I'm accessing the File Explorer, and it will only show one application at a time with my recording software. But basically, we're trying to access our CSV file, and basically, I'm having some issues here because it's wanting to open it in the wrong application. I don't want for it to be open in MySQL, so just hang on. Maybe I should have done a live stream for this, but unfortunately I cannot do a live stream with my recording software, and I've tried like Streamlabs or whatever the other ones are called, OSB Studio, and they've just caused tons of glitches for me, and I cannot connect them to YouTube even when I enter in the right keys. So those have always given me problems. Hopefully, though, I will be able to encounter something that doesn't give me a problem. Those of you on LinkedIn, it would be nice if you could just hit me up with some information on free live streaming software. But yeah, basically this is just me trying to show my skills here. And basically if you have a MySQL workbench model, it's not working, so open model does not work. And most tutorials don't show you this, so that's another issue. Oh, duh. Yeah. Table data import wizard. Alright, now we have the table data import wizard, and sorry if the video's not right or there's some sort of issue with the video quality, because this recording software sometimes will give me glitches if I try to open up a new window. But basically I've got this wizard set up, and you gotta search for your file. So we got a CSV file, and the issue with the Microsoft Explorer is that we have to go to the file on here. So I'm going to have to go to our new folder, and then yep, okay, I found the CSV file, excuse me, that's not a CSV file. Okay, I believe, let's see here, what does this have to say? Yes, it's a CSV file, comma separated values file. It was displaying kind of weird earlier. Alright, so we are going to import this, so just click next, and then we need a new table to be created. So let's just have a unique name for this tutorial. Let's just call it tutorial table. Okay, and once we get this, we're also going to drop it if it exists, because we don't want any glitches in case if there was a glitch in the system. Now we have all this right here, and yeah, so we can just move on and then import the file. Now we've imported just 19 records. It's a small file because this is just a tutorial project, and it's going to take me an eternity to get all the data from the CIA factbook imported, because it has all countries in the world. So, alright, next up should be a pretty quick tutorial. So basically what we're now going to do is you're going to learn these select features, okay? So we're going to do select from tutorial table, okay? And basically we're going to just try this out, yeah, to get started. So you enter in your schema name right here, Then you enter in the file name right here and here. Okay, so once you've done that, you have quite a few different parameters. So let's get started with discussing the parameters. The country, GDP, and electricity now will only be the only columns that we have that are going to be selected from this table. And we're going to have it to where the GDP is under 4,000. So it's under $4,000 for the GDP, so we can just see that one section. All other countries will not be shown. All countries that have a GDP of over $4,000. And then we have the electricity. So we're going to order it by the electricity, which means we're going to have the lowest to highest percentage of people with electricity. Then we're going to go to do the select now and then database. So we've made a selection now. So we have our result here. So basically this file right here is just showing us, like, the changes made, or the timestamps rather, kind of like this right here, or right here rather, the timestamps. Okay, so we've got that selected, and then basically this is our original table, our table 1, okay? And then we have table 2, which is our changed table, and this changed table has the different statistics sorted out the way we want for them to be sorted out. Okay, and we have electricity sorted out from lowest to highest, and then we have the GDP under $4,000. Okay, so we have this all sorted out at this point, and it's selected. So this is pretty much it for like the MySQL workbench. In future tutorials, we're going to talk about joining different tables, but this is it pretty much for what you can do with just a single table on MySQL workbench. But we're not done yet, as we still have one more topic to talk about, which is the MySQL 8.0 command line client. In this part of the video, we're going to discuss the MySQL command line client. So this is a lot harder for many people to learn than MySQL workbench, because MySQL command line client involves not just importing data like a regular computer program, but it involves a lot more required code, and it's very hard to get data onto here, because as of what I know, there's no import data functions. So that means that you're very limited in terms of what you can get entered, unless if there's some sort of format, which I have not found with the numerous tutorials I've gone through. I haven't found any way to import a table. So yeah, just hit me up on LinkedIn if you know how to import an entire table onto MySQL command line client. But let's get started. So first of all, what we're going to have to do is set auto commit. And the reason we're doing this is to ensure that the data is like updated automatically, and if we have numerous tabs open, then you will run into errors if you try to not commit on one tab, which means you end your session and then you work on another tab without having committed on there, especially when accessing the table, because the table is being accessed by numerous quote-unquote users, whereas really it's just being accessed on the different tabs and numerous functions and numerous actions are being activated. So what we're going to do is set auto commit and then start a transaction, which basically means start the session. So once we get that going, we will have to drop the table that we have currently. Okay. And we're just going to call this table a sample table because we don't want to drop our actual table. And we're going to create a dummy table right here. Okay. So then what we're going to do is insert, by the way, before we move on, this error that you see right here is normal when you're dropping the table. And that means that you're having, oh, excuse me. No, I got something wrong. We're getting the wrong error because we're getting error 1064, which means you have an error in the syntax, so it wasn't able to execute the command. We're supposed to get an invalid table error. So we're going to enter in our table name and then our schema.table name, and then we get error 1051, which states that we have an unknown table, so that's good. And then we have to create the table. Okay, so to create the table, we are just going to write create table and then type in this information right here. Alright, and we also made another mistake here because you have to be careful with when you're writing the tables, because you have to, especially on here, because you have to make sure you like get the bare bones down first, like bare bones information. And each table must have a primary key on MySQL so that there's like an index in like a basis and a way to sort the table. So now that we have this, we're going to insert one value, okay, and we're going to insert a CIA data.sample table, and we write values, and then we'll just write 3 as our value. Okay, so now what we're going to do is commit, and basically this ends our session. Okay, but we're going to restart our transaction, and basically what we're going to do is show how you can change the different tables. So for changing your table, what you're going to have to do is restart your transaction, and then you're going to have to work with your data that you have. So in order to do this, you have to have these different like levels of data. To access these different like levels of data, you got to perform the select function. Okay, so the select command. So select from CIA underscore data dot sample table, and then we have our values right here. Okay. Alright, so excuse me. Select from CIA data dot sample table. Okay. Alright, there. And it's 3, value of 3, okay?